I'm seeing another story there based on, Grodo Go Crack On has put a comment in here. Vikki Wall being scouted by the Irish women's rugby team is an incredible story. Is there any Irish sports person in demand by so many sporting bodies? Now, Emma Duggan, I believe, her teammate, said yesterday that she's not going to be joining and said, I briefly saw the report, the things that they latch onto. I can confirm Vicky's not going to play rugby.
Yeah, I actually interviewed her a couple of years ago and I asked her what sport she played growing up, because to me, like, rugby would stand out as a sport that she might have had or she could potentially excel at. And she had played some underage rugby. If you look at how much of a powerhouse she is at Gaelic, and then you look how, she took to the oval ball seamlessly over in Australia. And if you look at, previous, players that have played rugby for Ireland. Am I right in saying Hannah Tyrrell have played a bit of rugby for Ireland? Or
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of players. Irish rugby is a funny one at the moment. There's a lot of players who, they hadn't been playing since they were 6 or 7 or something like that. There's a lot of players, even professionally or semi-professionally, that would have taken it up at 17 or 18 and would have excelled within a couple of years.
Emer Considine from Clare would have been one that went straight over. And like, even if you look at the Irish Gaelic football players that go over to the AFLW, you would imagine that the standard isn't as high over there if so many can go straight over from amateur GAA straight in and make an impact, because it's obviously not happening that quickly for men. That's not to say that there isn't a good standard, but comparatively, the men are struggling even, so it would just suggest that they're going in at a lower level.
Yeah, numbers wise, like if you look, was there 22 or 23 last year? At least half or more than half were getting regular game time and starring in games. Like off the top of your head, you're thinking Vikki Wall, Cora Staunton, Breed Stack, Orlo Dwyer. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of...
And some at advanced ages too. You think, it's supposed to be a young person's game, the amount of ground being covered, especially in the men's game. Some of the players are going over at an advanced age in terms of sport and making a big impact. So that would suggest that the level isn't quite as high comparatively with the men. Lads, she's bored playing rugby, no challenge to a player of her ability. She'd be bored, is what he's saying there. Is that true? I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure. I'm not the biggest rugby fan, but...
Yeah, I don't know. As regards the skill involved, I'm sure she loves kicking scores in the 2 codes that she is playing at the moment. And she'll obviously be playing for Meath again this year, which was a big reason of why she agreed to go over to Australia in the first place, that they obviously agreed. So they're going for 3 in a row, and while there was tears shed and it was the end of an era after they won the back-to-back, she'll be back on board again next year. And yeah, listen, there's probably no point in saying any different. Gaelic probably does challenge her a good bit more maybe than rugby would, I'd say, both physically and probably skillfully, technically, I'd say probably would challenge her a bit more. But it's amazing how in demand she is. And listen, it's only natural. If you look at her playing either of the 2 codes that we can see her playing now, you can see why she'd be in so demand at rugby.